This PlayStation 4 coverage is brought to you by AppWin.com, a site where you can win prizes by downloading and rating apps. Be sure to check it out using the link below. Hey guys, how are you? David and Franco here from FrancoGaming.com. Today's video, in my opinion, covers a very bold and touchy subject with some people, and that's comparing the PlayStation 4 to the Xbox One. Because let's face it, there are so many people out there, and I have proof on Twitter and Facebook and email and whatever, of others asking me and other gamers out there saying, which is better, PS4 or Xbox One? And that is exactly what I'm here to talk about today. But first, let me say this real quick. I own both consoles. I've owned both since launch day. Yes, I'm very grateful. But I just want everybody to know, this video covers my unbiased and honest opinions. Because I fully realize both the PS4 and the Xbox One have pros and cons, and I'm going to be straight up honest about both of them. Alright, so getting started with the PlayStation 4, and I have a lot of notes, so I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. The PlayStation dynamic menu, in my opinion, is a huge jump up from the PlayStation 3's cross-media bar. Not only is it visually appealing, but it's so much easier to access options, your games, your apps, all that stuff. Now, with that said, I wish the organization could be better, because as of right now, everything is literally just in one giant row. But apparently Sony will be coming out with an update eventually that allows you to group your games and or apps. At least that's what I've heard. Streaming via Twitch is amazing. I've talked about this plenty, so I'm going to go through this real quick. Guys, let me just say it again. Streaming via Twitch is a very unique experience. Sitting down on my couch, in the comfort of my own living room, my own TV, surround sound, have my headset on and the PlayStation camera with the live chat room there, it's just an outstanding experience, and Sony really kicked ass in this department. And guys, honestly, it is easily one of my favorite features about my PlayStation 4 experience thus far. So talking about games, because at the end of the day, your PlayStation 4 is a gaming console, right? Of course it is, so you do want to play good games. And thankfully, yes, the PlayStation 4 actually has a pretty solid launch lineup in both indie games and actual retail games. Okay, so starting out with indie games, I gotta say my favorite right now is easily Resogun, but you do have the choice between that, Contrast, Warframe, Blacklight Retribution, DC Universe Online, I think it's called, as well as maybe one or two more titles. I'm not really sure right now at this moment in time, but I will say all those titles are available at your disposal as long as you have a PlayStation Plus membership. Well, at least that makes it free, but without PlayStation Plus, you'll be spending at least, I think, $6 or $7 per game. Okay, so speaking in terms of non-indie games, I gotta say, the exclusive launch lineup, in my opinion, isn't that strong, but perhaps it's strong enough to encourage you to pick up a PS4 right now. Now, first up is obviously Killzone Shadowfall. I really enjoyed that game a lot more than others seem to have, but then again, it's my first Killzone game ever, so I didn't really have high expectations, but I gotta say, it is downright the most beautiful game I probably have ever played, and it definitely shows off what the PS4 is capable of as of launch day. And just to think it's gonna get even better, that blows my mind. And then there's Knack, the game that people are kind of giving mixed reviews. I haven't played it, so I can't give my fair and honest opinion on that. But I will say, it looks interesting enough to try. And well, that's it. There's really no other PS4 exclusives in terms of retail games. So that's kind of disappointing. But there are plenty of multi-platform titles such as Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts, Assassin's Creed 4, Madden 25, NBA 2K14, Need for Speed Rivals, Just Dance 2014, Lego Marvel Superheroes, and plenty more. And yes, I'm looking below. There's no way in hell I can memorize all those in order. So it's pretty obvious to say the PS4 does have a pretty solid launch lineup in terms of multi-platform titles, but when it comes to exclusives, it's not that strong. And now let's talk about PlayStation Plus. For those not aware, PlayStation Plus is kind of like the premium membership for PlayStation users, and it costs $50 for an annual membership, which I don't think is that bad. Okay, so PlayStation Plus every month opens you up to new games added to the Instant Game Collection. And also, I should say, PlayStation Plus is required for most online multiplayer games, which is kind of a setback for many people, but if you want my honest opinion, I think this is a good thing. This is Sony's way of controlling the environment and making it a somewhat more high-quality experience. And of course, you cannot forget PlayStation Plus works across all of your PlayStation platforms, at least in terms of the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and even the PlayStation Vita. This obviously goes without saying, but PlayStation Plus is a huge benefit if you own all three platforms. Okay, so my final verdict on the PlayStation 4 While it's not aiming to be the entertainment all-in-one device like the Xbox One is, it's certainly good enough in that regard, in terms of Netflix, Redbox Instant, and anything else you can have access to. And of course, I mean, this goes without saying, but the PlayStation 4 is a great gaming console at heart, and Sony obviously knows what they're doing. But as of right now, exclusive launch titles, like I said, are not that strong, but you do have many multi-platform titles to choose from. Alright, it's time to move on to the next platform. Let's talk about Xbox One. Now, I was very fortunate enough to get my hands on my own Xbox One this past Friday, and so far, I'm really loving it. Not as much as I probably expected to, because I've yet to see any games that honestly blew me away, kind of like Killzone Shadowfall did on the PS4. But as of today, it's a very solid experience. Okay, so the home screen is much like the Xbox 360's dashboard, with a few enhancements here and there. But I will say it's much more organized than it was before. Instead of what the 360 offered, I think like 5 or 6 different tabs, that is now condensed down to just 3 tabs. I think it's Pins, Home, and Store, which isn't bad at all. I mean, it's organized pretty well, but I should say I do wish performance was a little faster within the menu system. An excellent example of this is either the friends list or achievements. Viewing either was much quicker on the 360, but unfortunately now on the Xbox One, it requires, I think, probably 10 or 15 seconds more of pressing buttons. Which might sound like a laziness thing, but I honestly think it's been a step back from the 360's interface in terms of friends list and achievements. I mean, it looks really nice. The new interface is beautiful, especially with these large graphics of achievements and gamer picks, but I do wish there was a quicker way of accessing your friends list and or achievements. But of course, I think this is something Microsoft will fix over time as long as gamers give their valuable feedback. Now, unfortunately, moving on to the streaming aspect, as of today and as of recording this video, the Xbox One unfortunately does not stream via Twitch and or Ustream like the PlayStation 4 does. This was kind of a last-minute announcement by Microsoft saying that we could not be able to do this, and they literally announced it maybe like 5 days before launch, which kind of sucks. I mean, I'm obviously very let down by that because I'm loving it on the PS4. But you do still have access to the official Twitch app on the Xbox One, so you can view streams. You just can't stream yourself, at least not until early 2014. Alright, now let's talk games. Downloadable titles on the Xbox One include Killer Instinct, which is a lot of fun. It's freemium though, so to truly enjoy what the game offers, you're going to have to offer up some money. And then there's Crimson Dragon. I haven't played it, but apparently it's not getting great reviews. And Loco Cycle, which, as far as I know, is the laughingstock of the Xbox One's indie lineup. I mean, apparently it's pretty bad. And then there's the Kinect Sports Rivals demo, which I tried last night, but for some reason, the Kinect wouldn't work well with it. I mean, the Kinect has been working very well in general, but with that demo alone, for some reason, it's having issues. But hey, it's there, so if you want to try it out and it works for you, that's awesome. And then there's Power Star Golf, which apparently is like Hot Shots Golf. And finally, Xbox Fitness, which is free to try, but you do pay for the more premium options. But of course, I do realize Xbox Fitness is not a game. Still though, it's cool of Microsoft to include it. Alright, so talking about exclusive titles, in my opinion, the Xbox One definitely has a much stronger launch lineup than the PS4. We have Dead Rising 3, Forza 5, Rise, Son of Rome, and Zoo Tycoon. Hold on now, there's no reason to laugh. I mean, according to reviews, Zoo Tycoon is actually a very, very fun game. I have yet to play it myself, but I'll definitely be checking it out at some point. And then, of course, in terms of multi-platform titles, it's exactly the same lineup as the PS4. We have your Call of Duty Ghosts, Battlefield 4, Assassin's Creed 4, NBA 2K14, Madden 25, the whole Lego thing, Just Dance 2014, and much, much more. I kind of throw that out there like it's nothing because I think that's pretty obvious to everybody. But you know what? I'm not going to argue against a strong multi-platform lineup. I mean, the PS4 and Xbox One both have pretty solid launch lineups, at least in terms of multi-plats. But like I said, the Xbox One, at least in my eyes, does have a stronger launch lineup in terms of exclusives. Alright, so this is where it gets interesting. Xbox Live costs $60 a year. PlayStation Plus, like I said, is only $50 a year. But if you do look around on the internet, such as Amazon, if you guys have ever heard of that, you can get Xbox Live for, I think, $50 or $55. And especially with Black Friday and the holidays coming up, I mean, to find Xbox Live for cheaper than $60 a year, I won't be surprised at all. So yes, in other words, right now is the time to get PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live. Alright, so Xbox Live is required for all online multiplayer games, as far as I understand anyway. But then again, this is no different than what we've been used to with the original Xbox, as well as the Xbox 360. But unfortunately, Microsoft still has not changed one very important aspect. You still need an Xbox Live membership to use apps such as Netflix, Redbox Instant, etc. Why this is still an issue with a brand new next generation of gaming, I'm not sure why. Maybe it's some kind of licensing thing Microsoft has set up with Netflix and other apps. But still, this is mildly annoying. Now, I will say it's not an issue to me at all, because I obviously pay for Xbox Live every year. I pay for Netflix every month, and anything like that. But still, guys, I cannot ignore the obvious. This is definitely an issue for many people out there who just simply want to use their Xbox One as a media streaming device, but don't feel like paying for Xbox Live. And finally, like PlayStation Plus, Xbox Live does work across several platforms. Well, by several, I just mean two. Xbox 360 and Xbox One, which should be more than enough, because I don't think anybody's using their original Xbox anymore. And plus, you really can't. I don't think there's any Xbox games that go online as of today. And now, wrapping up the Xbox One part of this video, what is my final verdict of the Xbox One? Well, it's obviously aiming to be the ultimate entertainment all-in-one, hence the name Xbox One, device in your living room, bedroom, wherever. Even your bathroom if you're into that. But you know what? I gotta say, it is really cool. I give Microsoft huge props for being innovative in this department. I mean, they're really pushing the whole entertainment thing and gaming. And in my opinion, there's no reason whatsoever why the two can't merge. Because isn't gaming a form of entertainment? Of course it is. So I think it's really cool that Xbox One integrates with TV. It integrates with Netflix. It integrates with YouTube. And obviously, at heart, it's a gaming console, and you cannot forget that. Also, guys, I gotta say, it is really, really nice saying Xbox, go to YouTube, or Xbox, go to Netflix, or Xbox, snap Internet Explorer. And yeah, I just said Internet Explorer. Unfortunately, we can't use any browsers as of right now, but for what it is, IE isn't that bad. And finally, I cannot forget about this, Xbox On. Now, I'm curious to see my Xbox One turned on behind me. I'll have to find out after this video. Well, that is my comparison of the PlayStation 4 versus Xbox One. Obviously, there's so much more to talk about. I mean, I've barely scratched the surface on everything the PS4 does. And the same exact thing goes for the Xbox One, and maybe even a little more because of the Kinect integration. I mean, the Xbox One is just huge in terms of the experience and overall physical form factor. The thing is a big brick. Oh, and yes, I purposely did not talk about the controllers because, in my opinion, that's something you have to experience for yourself. And plus, I've already uploaded my review of the DualShock 4 with a future video coming soon on the Xbox One controller. So I'm just going to say my thoughts for that on a later date. So the final verdict, PlayStation 4 or Xbox One? I'll let you sit there for 10 seconds. Moment of dramatization working up to this. And my choice, I will have to go with both. Yeah, both. Both consoles are amazing. I mean, neither is perfect, neither is bad, but both consoles are amazing for what they offer as of today. The PlayStation 4 is a very solid gaming experience with a breath of fresh air in not only the brand new controller design, the PlayStation dynamic menu, as well as Twitch streaming and a strong indie lineup. It's a great console to pick up right now. And then of course there's the Xbox One, which again I give major props to Microsoft for trying something new. They're trying to get everybody interested in the Xbox brand, and that right there is huge. Not only is it a great entertainment all-in-one device with pretty solid Kinect voice integration and gesture integration, but if you haven't noticed, Microsoft is going more towards voice than motion gestures. And yes, you cannot forget the Xbox One also offers a very solid gaming experience, especially with launch titles such as Forza 5, Rise, and Dead Rising 3. It really comes down to your personal preference, so I'm not going to pick one. You might like PlayStation 4 more, or you might like the Xbox One more. Me personally, I'm not going to pick because I'm loving both of them. And honestly, I am fine with that. There's no need to choose. I mean, we're in 2013 now. We are officially entering the next generation of gaming, at least in terms of PS4 versus Xbox One. And we're just lucky to have access to both consoles, or even to just have the option of choosing one. Like I've said in past videos, there is no reason to restrict yourself to just one platform. experience everything that matters. The PlayStation 4 is going to have amazing exclusives over the next few years. Same goes for the Xbox One and the Wii U, which is finally getting some awesome games. So that's all I'm going to say. All consoles are great, and there's really no need to choose. I realize that might be a disappointment to some people, but I figured that's the best way to approach this because that's honestly how I feel, and there's no need to choose your favorites. And guys, honestly, I'm not really a fan of favorites. I've always been that way. I mean, I can't just choose one, which is why I don't like when people say, David, what is your favorite movie? Well, I don't have a favorite movie. There are too many amazing experiences out there to choose just one. Okay, so while this is my personal opinion, I do want to see what you guys have to say. Would you prefer the PlayStation 4, or would you prefer the Xbox One, or maybe neither? Let me know why below, and as always, let's get an excellent conversation going with no fanboy wars or no hating on people simply based on their choice of console. It's just not needed, guys. We're all part of the same community. We're all gamers. We love our video games. End of story. And now, guys, I am finally out. Of course, this video probably went a little longer than expected, but it's an important topic worth talking about. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your continued support, and I will see you in my next video. Peace. AppWin.com is a site where you can win prizes like iPods, iPads, gift cards, and more, simply by downloading and rating apps. Get started right away by using the link below.